When I started training, I did an upper-lower split. In that split, I made one mistake that cost me some gains in one muscle that is extremely aesthetic. So in that plan, I was doing exercises like bench press, overhead press, lat pull downs, and rows. These exercises were great, but because of the fact that I was doing overhead presses, I neglected my side delts. And because of that, after around 1.5 years of training, my side delts look like this. Now I won't sit here and say how bad my body looks like because it looked decent, but it could look a lot better if I were to actually train them. So the first mistake is not training your side delts, and the way to avoid this mistake is to train them by doing lateral raises. Like 3 or 4 sets per workout, either a chest workout or an upper workout, whatever. Just do it in any workout that you do push movements like bench press, overhead press, add lateral raises. And then the second mistake. An aesthetic body is a muscularly proportional body with a pretty low body fat percentage. And the second mistake is not doing one thing that allows you to have a lower body fat percentage, which will show you muscle definition that is aesthetic. And it is not doing cardio. Because think about like this, now you might be doing cardio, but I see a lot of men who don't do their cardio. And I think they make a pretty big mistake, especially for the goal of having a pretty aesthetic body. Why? Because doing cardio like 20, 30, 40 minutes per day of walking or running is one hobby that if you add to your life and you do it consistently, you burn around 200 to 400 more calories each and every day. You are allowed to eat more, and even if you will eat the same, you will just lose body fat or just have an easier time maintaining a lower body fat. And for the goal of having a pretty low body fat percentage for most people, doing cardio is pretty damn important. So how do you do cardio without killing your gains? You do 30 to 40 minutes of low to medium intensity cardio every day. And if you want to, every other day, you could add like one pretty high intensity cardio session, like HIIT cardio or just zone 3 running for 30 minutes or things like that. That's basically how I think most people should do their cardio, with the goal of pretty much optimizing gains. Now the third mistake. A bulk is a great tool for building muscle because when we are on a calorie surplus, our bodies will build muscle faster. But the thing is that there is a diminishing effect for muscle growth when eating in a surplus. The first 500 calories will give us the most gains. An aesthetic body is a body with a pretty low body fat percentage, and after going and doing a dirty bulk with a really high surplus for a few months, you gain all of that fat, which will be so hard to lose afterwards. Not so hard, losing fat can be pretty easy for some people, but in a general rule of thumb, it's harder than if you were to do a bulk with a lower surplus and you would build a little bit less muscle, but you will gain a lot less fat, which will make the cut afterwards a lot easier, or even will allow you to not need to cut afterwards, because if you go from 10% body fat to 15, you still have an aesthetic body and you're in a great condition. Now the fourth mistake. I will go over it quickly because it is such a cliche to say it, right? You can go right now, open your phone, open Instagram and start scrolling, and you will see around 10 physiques if you will scroll for like 10 minutes that are way better than yours, that are extremely veiny, and they look amazing. But in reality, if you would see these people in real life, you would say to yourself, bro, he's not as jacked as I thought he is. Why? Because on social media, even me, I do it sometimes, we present ourselves, the guys who upload there, especially to short form content, in the best light. Literally the best light. We use the kind of lighting that makes us look the best. We also get a massive pump beforehand. We like turn on the AC on heat mode so we get more veiny. All of that stuff, that's what people on social media do, some of them, most of them. And because of that, we look better than we really do. You can see me right now. I don't look as big as I look in my short videos, for sure. And that's the thing, you might compare yourself to these unrealistic physiques, not even real physiques, because they look like that only with the best lighting and pump, and you will feel bad about your physique because of that. You will think that you don't have a good physique, an aesthetic one, because you will compare yourself to an unreal physique. The fourth mistake is watching these people a lot less, scrolling on TikTok a lot less, on Instagram a lot less, or just influencing the algorithm to show you a lot less of the juicy physiques. You can look at the nutty guys and get inspiration from them because you might be able to get their physiques, but when you look at the juicy guys, like the guys who are on the juice, you fuck up your perception of what is a real good physique. And the thing is that even if you will choose to not compare yourself to them, unconsciously you will do it. That's just human nature. I do it. They do it. That's why they have body dysmorphia. And you probably do it too. So don't be an arrogant guy and realize that it is something that is important to keep in mind. Because when you don't keep it in mind, you make a mistake, you develop body dysmorphia, and you just get a worse mental health, which is pretty damn bad. Some people have the misconception that having body dysmorphia is the thing that should motivate them to get more jacked, but in reality, it is such an unhealthy way to get motivated, because you can get motivated from two ways, basically. You can either get your motivation from, like, a healthy source of, I wanna get better, I'm now pretty good, but I wanna improve, I wanna become a better version of myself, or you can go at it from a way of, bro, I'm so bad, I'm such an ugly guy, I don't like myself, so I will go and put in the work and get better. Now, both of these ways are pretty much the same, but the thing is that the first way comes from a place of security, the second place comes from a place of insecurity. I just want to convey the point that you should not necessarily be insecure to improve. Now, pain is a great motivator, it should motivate you, but instead of looking at it at the lens of I don't like myself, I think that looking at it at a place of I don't fulfill my potential, which is different because you don't fulfill your potential but you still like yourself, is a way healthier approach. Now the fifth mistake, I will go over it extremely quickly because it is so obvious. For you to get jacked, you need to do the actions that get you jacked. You need to eat like enough protein, you need to eat the correct calorie amounts in relation to your goal, and you also need to train and sleep. These activities are obviously going to get you more jacked. When you don't do them, when you are inconsistent in doing them, you get jacked slower. You hinder your progress, which will increase the time that it will take for you to get the aesthetic body. When you do these actions consistently, and you don't skip your workout, you don't skip that meal that you needed to eat but you didn't feel like, when you don't skip like an hour of sleep, you basically guarantee making progress faster, which will make you jacked faster, which will give you that aesthetic body faster, and by not doing these things, by being inconsistent, you make a mistake. The way to avoid it is to prioritize consistency, and the way to prioritize consistency is to actually go and do it with discipline. And that's it. If you enjoyed this video, you can like to subscribe. If you want to get free stuff from me, you can check out the link in the description, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.